One closed gate can separate Los Angeles from its own airport. Here, silence becomes the first visible sign of serious access. The public terminal roars nearby, but this entrance barely breathes. Every polished surface suggests a rule no sign explains quietly. A private terminal sells time before it sells comfort quietly. The wealthiest travelers often buy absence, not attention, quietly. Los Angeles understands visibility, but aviation luxury prefers disappearance, quietly. Behind tinted glass, power moves without needing an audience, quietly. The journey begins before the aircraft is even seen, quietly. The most exclusive door may look almost deliberately ordinary, quietly. At LAX, privacy lives beside one of aviation's busiest stages. PS offers commercial travelers a private back door to aircraft. That distinction matters, because luxury often blurs categories carefully, quietly. Some passengers fly private. Others make commercial travel feel private. Both experiences depend on controlled movement, not public spectacle, quietly. Van Nuys tells the other side of Los Angeles aviation. It serves business aircraft, charter flights, crews, and private operators. The runway culture there is quieter, faster, and more operational. Private aviation here is built on coordination nobody photographs quietly. Every arrival depends on people paid to prevent friction quietly. FBOs are the private aviation terminals behind the public airport. They handle fuel, crews, passengers, catering, and ground logistics quietly. In Los Angeles, those details become a language of status. Not every luxury room matters. The unseen sequence matters more. At PS, the airport experience is deliberately redirected from crowds. Private screening turns waiting into a controlled ritual quietly. Drivers cross the airfield, while passengers avoid the terminal maze. Hospitality here depends on timing, security, and carefully choreographed discretion. The suite is less decoration than insulation from exposure, quietly. For some travelers, privacy is protection, not vanity, quietly. Commercial aircraft still waits, but the approach feels transformed, quietly. Luxury becomes distance from chaos, measured in closed doors quietly. The lounge is calm, because complexity moved behind walls, quietly. Every agent knows the passenger's route before conversation begins, quietly. A flight can feel private without becoming a private flight. That tension defines modern airport privilege in Los Angeles, quietly. Time is the product, but privacy is the emotion, quietly. The main terminal remains close, yet psychologically very far away. Even luggage moves differently when nobody watches the handoff, quietly. Silence turns airport anxiety into something almost ceremonial, quietly. At LAX FBOs, private jets meet industrial-scale coordination, quietly. Signature and Atlantic serve aircraft away from passenger crowds, quietly. These facilities operate with ramps, lounges, fuel, and handling crews. Luxury depends on trucks, radios, checklists, and weather decisions, quietly. Behind every polished lobby stands an uncompromising operational machine, quietly. The ramp reveals what the lounge carefully hides from guests. Here, status touches concrete, jet fuel, and constant timing, quietly. Customs, cargo, charters, and crews share the same choreography, quietly. Atlantic LAX lists customs support and 24-hour operations. Such services make global movement feel almost frictionless, quietly. Signature LAX represents private aviation handling, inside commercial airport pressure. The location matters, because LAX never truly sleeps, quietly. Private terminals at major airports must negotiate public complexity, quietly. Every elegant arrival depends on airfield permissions and ground discipline. Escape. It is controlled integration, quietly. One wrong delay can expose everything privacy tries hiding, quietly. At Van Nuys, the rhythm becomes unmistakably private aviation, quietly. The airport ranks among the world's busiest general aviation fields. Its history gives the place more than celebrity mythology, quietly. Two parallel runways support constant non-commercial aviation movement, quietly. The Valley Air carries maintenance, departures, and old Hollywood echoes. FBO names become addresses in an invisible luxury map, quietly. Clay Lacy carries decades of private aviation heritage here, quietly. Castle & Cooke, Signature, and Jet Aviation share the field. The competition is quiet, because clients notice details, not banners. Aviation luxury at Van Nuys is practical before glamorous quietly. The most important room may be the dispatch desk, quietly. Crews read weather, while passengers read silence, quietly, quietly, quietly. A delayed fuel truck can matter more than marble, quietly. Every departure begins with logistics pretending to be effortless, quietly. The terminal lobby is only the visible tip, quietly, quietly. Hangars hold the expensive truth behind the experience, quietly, quietly. Aircraft ownership creates obligations most travelers never imagine, quietly, quietly. Management, maintenance, fuel, and crew scheduling shape private freedom quietly. Freedom becomes a calendar managed by specialists behind doors, quietly. Even spontaneity requires paperwork, permissions, and runway capacity, quietly, quietly. Los Angeles makes access feel glamorous, then makes it procedural. Private aviation is speed surrounded by regulation, quietly, quietly, quietly. Every jet exists inside weather, security, fuel, and airspace limits. The wealthy can avoid lines but not physics, quietly, quietly. That quiet contradiction makes these terminals fascinating, quietly, quietly. Inside the lounge, design removes every reminder of waiting, quietly. Outside, line technicians work in heat, noise, and precision, quietly. It is the business model. Guests see calm because workers absorb friction, quietly, quietly, quietly. Luxury becomes a carefully distributed burden across unseen labor, quietly. At sunrise, the terminal feels almost residential, quietly. By midday, it becomes a command center with soft chairs. By night, discretion turns into something more cinematic, quietly. The same door serves urgency, romance, pressure, and escape, quietly. Every passenger brings a reason, rarely visible to staff, quietly. Some travel for meetings, some travel to avoid attention, quietly. Others carry family obligations, quietly, quietly, quietly. Private terminals compress human motives into silent departures, quietly, quietly. Status is present, but emotion travels beside it, quietly, quietly. Los Angeles sells visibility, yet these places sell removal, quietly. That removal has cultural meaning beyond convenience, quietly, quietly, quietly. It suggests power can move without asking public permission, quietly. It also raises questions about separation in modern travel, quietly. Who gets silence and who stands in lines, quietly. The terminals answer softly, through architecture, rather than argument, quietly. Frosted glass becomes a social boundary with automatic doors, quietly. A lounge chair can represent an entire economic system, quietly. Nothing here looks loud because loudness would cheapen control, quietly. The restraint is the message, delivered through space, quietly. Private aviation culture rewards people who notice subtle signals, quietly. A valet's pause, a locked gate, a waiting sedan, quietly. Every small gesture tells the traveler they are expected, quietly. Being expected may be the deepest luxury here, quietly. At LAX, expected means avoiding the terminal entirely, quietly. At Van Nuys, expected means the aircraft already feels ready. Both versions turn uncertainty into managed choreography, quietly. Even the coffee arrives as part of a timing plan. Behind calm faces, staff constantly solve invisible problems, quietly. Weather shifts, ramp congestion, catering delays, crew duty limits, quietly. The guest may never hear any of it, quietly. That silence is expensive because it is engineered, quietly. The terminal's design hides both labor and risk, quietly. Los Angeles private aviation also carries public tensions, quietly. Noise, emissions, and local concerns follow every runway, quietly. Van Nuys has long managed community attention around operations, quietly. Private comfort exists inside a larger civic conversation, quietly. The runway belongs to a city, not just clients, quietly. That fact complicates every elegant shot, quietly. Access, but not total invisibility, quietly, quietly. Aircraft still cross shared skies above ordinary neighborhoods, quietly, quietly. The private terminal is both refuge and reminder, quietly, quietly. It shows how modern status moves through infrastructure, quietly, quietly. The building may be quiet, but the system is loud. Every sealed door has consequences outside the frame, quietly, quietly. The documentary question is not whether luxury feels beautiful, quietly. It is what beauty is designed to conceal, quietly, quietly. Inside these terminals, desire becomes operational, quietly, 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 quietly. They want control, quietly. Control over time, attention, exposure, and unexpected inconvenience, quietly, quietly. Los Angeles turns those desires into a polished surface, quietly. But polish never removes the runway underneath, quietly, quietly, quietly. Every departure still begins with clearance and weather, quietly, quietly. Every arrival still ends with wheels touching concrete, quietly, quietly. Between those moments, the terminal sells a feeling, quietly, quietly. The feeling is that the world briefly moves aside. That feeling is fragile, because airports resist perfect control, quietly. Yet private terminals keep trying to make movement seamless, quietly. Their elegance lives in the attempt, not perfection, quietly, quietly. Maybe that is why the spaces feel strangely human, quietly. They promise certainty inside a system built on delay, quietly. They promise privacy inside a city obsessed with visibility, quietly. They promise ease where modern travel usually teaches surrender, quietly. By the final gate, luxury looks less like wealth, quietly. It looks like time protected from every waiting room, quietly. The aircraft departs, but the question stays behind, quietly, quietly. Who owns the quiet moments inside a public sky, quietly? Los Angeles answers softly, through closed doors and moving lights. Access begins as architecture, then becomes a personal atmosphere, quietly. The last luxury is not speed, but protected attention, quietly. Behind the gate, luxury becomes the art of being unseen,